Have you ever been in a situation where problems pile up and you're not sure if you can just handle one more problem? Welcome to the Daily Devo. I am Vince Miller. This week, we have been in 1 Samuel chapter 13. I titled this chapter, Partial Obedience is Complete Disobedience. So chapter 13, we see that the Philistines are pressing up against King Saul and Israel. Saul offers a burnt offering that he shouldn't have, and Samuel gives him a little bit of a face spanking and pronounces an indictment against him. Meanwhile, the Philistines are 36,000 warriors strong with advanced weaponry, and Saul and his men are a measly 600 men with very rudimentary weapons. So let's see that here as we read verses 19 down to the end of the chapter, verse 23. Now there was no blacksmith to be found throughout the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make themselves swords or spears. But every one of the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen his plowshare, his mattocks, his axe, and his sickle. So all their gardening tools. And the charge was 2/3 of a shekel for the plowshares and for the mattocks, and 1/3 of a shekel for sharpening the axes and for setting the goads. Now, it's a lot of money. We probably don't have a context for what that means, but they had to spend a lot to get this stuff taken care of. So on the day of the battle, there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people with Saul and Jonathan. 0. But Saul and Jonathan, his son, had them, so they had their own sword and shield. So 2 for 600 men. And the garrison of the Philistines went out to the pass of Michmash. Now, this section is an important description because not only do the Philistines have the Israelites surrounded, preventing any kind of retreat or help from neighboring tribes to the north, south, east, and west, but they also have complete control of all the metallurgical resources, so all the metal resources, and not just the weaponry, but also the tools that aid in sharpening and repairing their everyday agricultural tools. So the Philistines have intentionally retained control of these resources. Now, these tactics are still being used today, are they not? They're being used by stakeholders in popular media who control and spin the information we hear, using it to persuade us of their ideas and beliefs. They're being used by influencers and investors who use their power to persuade us of their positions or to try to get us to buy their products. But they're also being used by corporations whose policies and procedures prevent proselytizing of our faith while proselytizing us of the positions that the Bible rejects. Given all this, there is still good news. Even without resources, believers can be victorious. You can be victorious with nothing. With nothing. The enemy will monopolize resources as he wages wars and battles against us. And we, at times, are going to feel resourceless. But we worship a God of all resources. Today, if you feel like you're under attack, if you feel outnumbered, outflanked, and under-resourced, if your life is full of problems and you don't know if you can handle just one more issue, if you feel like you're on the edge of defeat and destruction, I want you to know you are not. Because guess what? 1 Samuel 14 is coming. That's the next chapter. And it's good news because the world does not possess and monopolize these resources. We have a God of all resources who can do something with nothing because he is the only resource you will ever need. I love you, fellas. I hope this has blessed you. If it has, share it with someone else, and I'll see you right back here again.